Yes. Good evening. Yes. Oh, people. We're going to put on a good show for you here. Right here on this plantation known as the Movie Review Extravaganza. What is up, everybody? I am Master Corey Coleman up in here.
You're a house Negro.
And today I'm going to have my boys go out there and pick y'all some good reviews. Mr. Uncle Thomas.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, I put that boss on there. What's wrong? What is wrong, sir? Martin Thomas, people. A fine critique of it.
Oh, no.
Good evening,
If it's
sir.
the last thing I do, I'm going to get you back.
You're going to come back from the dead to get me. I'll get you, Corey Coleman. It's the last thing I'll do.
You don't even have to say who I am. I'm good. You can go ahead and start the show. I'm just here.
No. Corey Goodwin. Corey Goodwin.
Hey,
how you doing? Nice slave name you got there.
Thank you. It's almost like another Corey.
Yes, Cold Man. How y'all doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. Hey, I know, look, we already getting started, but it's appropriate. We're talking about, it's Oscar time, and now it used to be the Jews had it, man, with those Holocaust movies. Slaves, that's what's in fashion now.
That's the new Jewish
That's
people.
the new Jew.
The new black.
What'd you say?
Black is the new black.
Is the new black.
Slave is the new black. No, that shit's been around for a long time. But we're talking about the very, very controversial movie right now, The Birth of a Nation. Don't say Birth of a Nation because that's that racist white one right there. You know, that's the one that's from 1915 where they talk about how the Klan was triumphantly formed to save the nation from all those rogue black people who were just freed, tearing up the country. And we told y'all about this before. It's messed up because the legend is that black people, after being free from Lincoln, they were just going wild. You know,
Yep.
they were animals and they were raping and pillaging and burning
Taking
down
over.
places. They were taking over.
They were tyrants.
for those people. This is the original Planet of the Apes for some people, right?
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
And what happened was, this is so stupid.
But some courageous Klan members came and straightened them out.
But here's how the Klan got formed. So while the black people going crazy trying to kill just, law-abiding good white folk, there were some sheets on some laundry sheets on a line, and the wind blew them off, and black people saw them. Oh, Lord, I got to get out of here. That's a ghost. And the Klan said, aha, they're scared of sheets.
It's the same origin as Batman.
Really? So the Klan are actually superheroes. They're the original Justice League, if you will.
Oh.
So they all got together with their sheets on their horses and chased all those crazy black people away and saved the country. And even back then. Now we're talking about 1915, even 1915, not just black people, some white people. Even back then, they said, damn, D.W. Griffith, the director's like, man, that's kind of fucked up.
Did they? I just thought everybody was like, oh, this is awesome.
It was so messed up at that time. Some people just kind of like, man, it's the best adventure comedy I've ever seen. But a lot of people just kind of like, yeah, while I secretly agree with you, we're trying to come together as a nation. This is not
I didn't know what the climate was, because what I know about this movie is that a good 10 years of us, when we first start reviewing movies, and you sit there and they show a screen with trivia, and would always have a big poster for this movie up there and talk about all the awards it won for cinematography and how it was a breakthrough.
Well, it was a breakthrough. It was a breakthrough in editing. It was a breakthrough in cinematography. But what happened was a lot of people, there was a sort of backlash, and the director felt so bad about it that he actually made a movie called Tolerance.
Oh, really?
That was it was like 5 hours long.
Oh, no.
It was
Man, I'm glad you told me about this, because I always thought, I know he's dead, but if I ever find this dude, I will beat the shit out of him.
Man, he did it. He made a 5-hour apology for this movie.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Tolerance. How you gonna tolerate watching 5 hours of this movie?
Or maybe it was called Intolerance. I don't know. But it was about a history of intolerance throughout mankind. But anyway,
sitting there watching this film like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done?
But I'm going to go ahead and show you now what we have here. We have The Birth of a Nation, and this is sort of the anti-Birth of a Nation right here. This is sort of the same premise, except more true to history. This is about Nat Turner, who it was 1831, He went through and killed about 55 to 65 white people in a rebellion that took place in Southampton County in Virginia. And we've learned about this in in our school books. It is one of the things that they will tell you about, slave history.
Most of them won't.
But I had it in my book.
I didn't have it in mine
at all. I didn't find about this till much later.
Yeah, well, I'm 10 years younger than you, so we got the edited edition. So
he didn't find out about it either.
Oh, you just went to a shitty school, but but with this right here, it's controversial not because of some of the things that have come up about Nat Turner later, but also some of the things that have come up about the director, Nate Parker. We'll touch on that in just a little bit, but let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of the trailer for The Birth of a Nation.
You're waiting on us.
We will rise.
All right, see, y'all listen to that gospel music right there and hearing that soundtrack, and y'all thinking, oh, this is going to be inspirational. This is going to be like Selma or something. You think you're going to come out of there feeling like uplifted and everything. No, hell no, fuck that. Like my man Twinkie said in Sausage Party.
Once you see that shit, it'll fuck you up for life.
Yeah, this is a fucking horror. I was looking like that sausage right there watching this movie. This is a horror film. I mean, these slave movies are getting worse every year, man, or every time we
They're
get
just
one.
getting more accurate.
Yeah, well, that's the scene. And that is the sad thing about it, man. I'll watch this. This will ruin your day. No, this will ruin your fucking week. I played video games last night, and Jeremy, I ain't trying to like scare y'all or anything, but it was. Every creature had a white head on it. You know what I'm saying? I was Nat Turner playing that game. I was just going. I'm not going. Look, they ain't gonna rebel in here. Hey, lock that door, man. No. I'm just kidding. No, not real. No, I didn't know what to do. I had to get my frustration out, man, because this.
Yeah,
it is.
Man, when the movie was done, you took off fast.
Oh yeah, you ran out of there.
You know what? The thing is, they wanted us to sign. They want us to do comment sheets at all the critics would go. They want you to say what you think about the movie for the studios. I walked down like I ain't doing what the white man tell me to do. You know,
I was like, I'm Asian.
But I put my sheet down and I ran on out there before they caught me. But
it's a good thing you didn't stay.
No, man.
Oh my God.
I'll talk to you about that later.
All right. Ooh, yeah. No, let's not interrupt the review right now.
Yeah,
No,
well,
you
you're good,
tell
you're
me
good.
afterwards because I'll stop this shit and run out of here and try to choke that motherfucker you
We'll
telling me
remove
about.
names.
But okay, so here's the deal. Now, first of all, this is a movie that's wrapped in controversy for several things. There's two main reasons for that I know of, though. And one of those is the story of Nat Turner himself. A lot of people are saying, ironically, they're trying to whitewash this story about him because Nat Turner is known for these days going in not only in his rebellion killing men but also killing women and children.
Right.
They say that in the Confessions of Nat Turner that's one of the things that he admits to. He even says that we went and killed a baby in a crib. Now, I'm not trying to defend this or trying to like come in here and make or paint a more heroic picture of the story myself. I mean, I did do some looking around to see about Nat Turner, how much violence they did cause, and I actually saw some things that argued against that. Thomas R. Gray, I believe, is the guy that wrote the Confessions of Nat Turner, and I'm looking at a page right here, DocSouth, UNC.edu, just in case anybody wants to, go and fact check me. But they're saying that in the Confessions of Nat Turner, the lawyer Thomas R. Gray, who wrote that, might have gone in and changed some things around.
Jazzed it up?
No, I actually tried to make it propaganda in a way.
Yeah.
Because there are some points in there where they say that some of the tones with the way that Nat Turner was speaking kind of seemed doctored and changed around and weren't consistent. Yeah. So they're saying that some of the more violent things that you hear about in there, it's debatable. I'm not saying it's true or not, and I'm sure somebody can argue with me on this. They say that might not have been the case. By the way, we're looking at an illustration right now. There's also a really cool graphic novel
by Kyle Baker.
By Kyle Baker,
yeah,
man.
I meant to go back and reread it. I have it, and I read it a while ago. And
Yeah,
I wanted to reread it before we did the show.
I was looking at some of the illustrations, and before this movie was made, they had this graphic novel by an artist, Kyle Baker, who's a great artist, and even that was considered to be controversial at the time because they wanted to teach this in some classrooms, and they're saying, well, should we do this knowing what Nat Turner possibly did? So that, that's something that's out there. I just wanted to let you know that we are not going in here ignorant. We do know about the controversy, especially the one that people are going to jump on us about, which is Nate Parker in the rape case that he had back when he was in college, which I forgot how many years ago that was. But the victim, the alleged victim, the woman that accused him and his writing partner on this movie, who also gets a writing credit, they were both acquitted. They said he found some loophole, but Nate Parker, he said some things that were controversial that led people to believe, like, okay, you're not doing yourself a favor by saying I never thought about consent as a definition, but I don't want to have this come in and bear anything else on the review, because Nate Parker has come in and said that I'm not apologizing for anything. I've been acquitted for it. And there have been articles that have been written. This one's from The Guardian, but there have been articles that have been written where they just pretty much say that he's guilty. And I don't want to let you know I'm coming in and I'm treating this like I treat Woody Allen. The man sticks by his innocence. He's been acquitted of a crime. Not that Woody Allen was ever convicted of any crime or anything, but these are guys that are saying, look, I've done nothing, and I'm sticking by that, and I'm not changing, so move on. I'm not going to sit up here and try to convict somebody just because that's the, socially.
I mean, unless you're a lawyer, you got some evidence that nobody else knows.
Exactly. And because we don't know the details. So nobody can say anything. And I'm not going to go in and try to, judge this man myself if he's sticking by his innocence. So got that out the way. So just in case anybody wants to come in and bring that up, we are fully aware, and that's all I have to say about it. As far as the movie goes, this is the one where, like Martin was saying, man, every movie gets more detailed because more violence is revealed about how barbaric slavery was, and how and this is the movie that really shows. Believe it or not, out of all the slave movies that we've seen, this is one that shows like, wow, man, America, especially the South, that was a fucking medieval chamber of horrors, man.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, this movie somehow was able to be more brutal with showing less. Like, I remember with 12 Years a Slave, it just showed like every beating, every whip, everything that happened to the slaves. But in this one, a lot of the times you would just get the aftermath. You'd be like, Jesus Christ, they did that. That's awful.
Yeah, I was shaken by this movie. It's and I will tell you, first of all, one of the things when we see Braveheart and we see Spartacus, the villains, the people that we root against, because they are Hollywood villains. I mean, no matter what happened in history, they are Hollywood villains. And I'm going to say to a certain degree, it's the same way in this movie. I mean, the slave owners and the masters and the plantation people, some of them are Hollywood villainous. I mean, they're slimy whenever they're looking at a female slave being sold. They show dudes up there, playing pocket pool, playing with their dick, masturbating with themselves while they're pretty much looking at the girl. It's one atrocious, cruel act against humanity after another. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and even with one character in here, played by Jackie Earle Haley, they even set that up. Like, the hero and the villain having that big standoff.
Right. These two are going to have to they're going to have to head to head at some point.
Yeah, it's some Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader shit going
Diego
on.
Montoya
stuff. Yeah. Especially when Jackie Earle Haley said, I'm your dad, Nat Turner, But, I'm letting you know too that the writing in here, some of it is very stylized for a person that glorifies the story and has taken their own Hollywood approach to it. You have to understand that this is a guy. Nat Turner is the guy that, and if you couldn't tell by the trailer, this is a guy that was sent out. He pretty much got sent on a tour. He got booked for a tour that he didn't want to even go on. It was like the Submit to Your Master tour.
A Calm the Niggers Down tour.
Yeah, exactly. They had dates and arenas planned.
We sold out Phillips Arena, baby. We made it.
They were selling T-shirts and shit. Calm your nigga right here. Calm your nigga by getting him this nice T-shirt right there. It was in. With him, it's a movie where, with that tour that he was doing, he might as well have been on a Vietnam tour, man, because it gave him PTSD to see the things that he had seen. Like Armie Hammer, which I will show you in this clip right here. was a kind master until that society. He was a product of his society. You know, it got to a point where he was pushed to be what everybody else was, even though he's trying to be like he was horrified by some of the things that he saw. If you fucking with his money, he's like, hey, I don't give a shit. Your wife better put out some slave ass for these masters right here. You know, he didn't care. And Nat Turner is a guy that is suffering from PTSD. Yeah. This is a guy that he was being treated well by his master, put him in a state of shock when he had to go out and see the real cruelty that was going on top of the cruelty that he already seen. You know, being treated like pets, slaves being given to their children like animals. This was a guy that just couldn't take it anymore. And when you look at this, it was like, to go up against such terrifying odds as a community who would tear you apart if you so much as looked at them the wrong way. It enhances Nate Parker's performance because you can see how this guy just slowly had to build up this tension that was growing in him, all this anger that was growing in him, all this sadness that was growing him to the point to where he just snapped. For what was before not going to be very believable, Nate Parker was able to have that proper build up to make it seem like it was very believable when it reached that point.
Been good to you. My whole family has.
Beware of false prophets who come dressed in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves.
Now, of course, he got his ass whooped for that little sermon right there. Yeah.
Well, you knew that was just raise your voice at me?
Yeah. You can't talk to the mayor of Halloween Town like that. As a dude dressed up like he's straight out of The Nightmare Before Christmas. He showed up for a Tim Burton movie.
La la la,
yeah.
la la la,
la la la. Whooping his ass, la la la. Get your ass nice and whooped. By the way, a lot of people are going to talk about. They're talking about Nate Parker's performance in this, but Armie Hammer, man, he's great in the film because, like you said, Martin, this is a guy that showed that he had compassion at one time. You know how he was only pushed into being the person that he is later on. I mean, he was kind of losing everything, and it was a situation of, look, man, it's either you or me, and they ain't gonna lynch my ass.
Yeah, they did a good job of not portraying him as like a white knight the way they did Benedict Cumberbatch in 12 Years a Slave. Like, I want to keep you here, but I got to send you away.
But he was even. I mean, I know. I felt the same way with him, where it's like, he wanted to do the right thing, but ultimately he was just weak.
The thing, what I hate about that though is that I got another one on my list now. I just
someone's joining Fassbender.
I just got over Fassbender, man. I just made up with Fassbender. I looked at this movie and I was like, man, why y'all do that? I like Armie Hammer, man. I like this dude. Now, if I see, what's that?
I thought that was
no, he might as well be. So, when they get that racist facial hair, they all look kind of same after a while.
They were both hitting the bottle pretty heavy.
They were both drunk. When you get that drunk racism going on, they kind of both look the same. But I looked at this and I said, man, I like Armie Hammer, man, but I better not ever see this motherfucker on the street. At least not for the next 6 months or so. Even Armie Hammer got to that point where it's one thing to be shitty right from the beginning. Yeah. Like Michael Fassbender, you knew right from the beginning. Like he was sitting up there drinking. He would just yell out, nigga!
He was like, what's wrong with him? Is he talking to someone?
He would ask for alcohol that way. I have another bottle of nigga. This dude right here. Boy, I'm glad you laughing, Jeremy. I looked over and I said, they probably gone, man.
Just smoke clouds.
Slam.
Yeah, we're doing all this for humor, man. I'm so
Still out
sorry.
in their hipster van.
Well, he gonna grab you, Teresa, tonight like, why'd you take me in there with those black dudes? but I
was scared the whole time.
A fear for a goddamn life.
Laughing out of fear.
Keep laughing. He won't kill us. But
my man.
but this being a passion project, the passion shows in a lot of areas, not just in the story, not just in Nate Parker's performance, but the cinematography that he chose did a great job with this. I especially love how misty this all looked, how at night it was covered up in this glowing haze of blue. I like that the way the colors became more muted as the rebellion got more aggressive. It was, you could see love on the frames of the film.
There's so much art that goes into this. I mean, he took some chances just being artsy at times, and it worked. And that was one of the things I really loved about it. Him being a first-time director, taking chances doing this. I thought back to Denzel's first movie he directed, Antoine Fisher, and how, it's a nice movie, but it's very safe.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
a drama, nothing else to it. And Nate
Good
Parker,
point, man.
he really put it all out there. You know, he did things that some black people might look at and go like, man, what's this with the angel? What's he doing? But it's like, hey, he's making a real film here.
There are shortcomings here, very obvious decisions that are being made about the film from the perspective of a first time director. You know, at least I think so. But I mean, for a first time director, this is strong, man.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it's almost strong because he has strong material. Like, I almost wonder what he would have done with this had he been directing a talking dog movie or something. You know?
It is the question of like your first movie. You have infinite time to work on it. You have a lot of passion for it, and it is a strong subject matter. So with your next assignment, where you don't have all those things, then what happens?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's almost like I don't mean this in a bad way. It's almost like a cheat in a way. Like, it's your first film, and you chose slavery,
And it's his passion.
and it's your passion, and slavery. Look, slavery is gonna be powerful no matter what. If I got on my knees right now and had Jeremy whoop the shit out of me, you know, people gonna be moved by that.
I know Jeremy's like,
Come on, man. Why you give me? Why you do that? Okay. Well, how about this?
I'm a Yankee.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy, how about after you got through whooping me, then Teresa took you to the gas chamber? You know, it's like, hey, you know, people. There are certain images of things that you will do that's just going to bring out emotions in you.
he's from the North. Slaves are free in the North.
Oh, you know, in the North they really want to.
Don't you drink from the same water fountain as him, but you
But you know, there are images that you could put out there that will move you, that will anger you.
But we've seen slave films get fucked up.
But I would like to see what other movies come out before I'm like everybody else saying, oh, this is best movie of the year. Is it one of the best? Yeah, it is. I mean, just by the love that's put into it.
Sure.
It is. I don't know about best movie of the year yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just broken from slave movies. I don't know.
I mean, so far you could put it up there, but I mean, we still have another 2 months.
Exactly.
It seems likely to be in the top 10 for sure. But I know what you mean about slave movies. Like I'm gonna give it a full price, a high full price. And I thought, what's keeping me from going better than Sex? And I didn't hit that emotional point where I wept in it like I have in some movies, and I was like, I don't know if it's the movie or it's just that I've watched this so many times now.
What about you? Give you a rating, man.
Oh man, I'm the same as him, full price. The one thing I really enjoyed about this was it wasn't like other slave films where it's like, I just got to get out of the situation. You slowly watch a man reach his breaking point, and the second he hits it, things flip and turn on their head. So yeah, definitely a full price for me.
Yeah, and like Martin said, this echoes what's going on today. Throughout the movie, especially at the end, there's this this whole prevailing message, and they finally even say it. Black people were just dying just because they were black. And, I mean, I know some people won't agree with what I'm saying here, but, I, from my opinion, I see that kind of happening today. Not because they say, oh, it's a black person, shoot him, but it's because of this fear.
Yeah.
This whole thing that you are still not equal in some people's eyes. This movie not only is powerful because of the passion that went behind it, but it's relevant. And I ain't gonna lie. One thing I say about this movie, man, I'm glad to see a slave movie where there's some payback. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I've been watching so many slave movies, and I'm not racist. I have to say this all the time, but that disclaimer on there, where's my bumper sticker? Most of my friends are white. I
go to white barbershops and grocery stores.
I hang out with none. I'm like white people. I hang out with none but white people. It does wonders for your life. I'm not gonna lie. But damn, I look at slave movies, I'm like, I wish some of these goddamn plantation people just die. That fucking slave. Look, fuck it. What am I supposed to? Don't y'all say shit, because we watch all these Indiana Jones movies and we're like, oh, I love seeing Nazis die.
Melting Nazis.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's like,
more.
well, if you can't kill a Nazi, who can you kill? Goddamn slave owners. That's who you can kill. That goddamn suit and that whip is just as bad as that goddamn swastika on somebody's arm, if not worse. I mean, the whole thing, we played slavery down to make it seem like, oh, they were just raising pets on a cotton farm. No, that shit is horrible. I'll give this a full price. Like I said, I'm holding back on whether it's one of the best movies of the year I've seen, but it is a very much a full price movie. Not something I want to ever see again. No.
Hell no.
Yeah, so that's the one thing with 12 Years a Slave. It shook me up, but I've watched it a few times since then because there's just so much about it. And this was just one of those, like, that's a one and done.
I'm good.
Yeah, man. I don't need to see another slave movie for a good 3-4 years, because with the way they're going now, the pattern, what they're revealing, the next shit's gonna be, it really really is gonna be a horror movie, man. It's just gonna be released from Blumhouse Pictures. The next Slave movie is gonna, you know,
Isn't it? Was it Get Out or whatever that movie?
oh
we
yeah,
saw?
shit. The next Slave movie is gonna be Negroes going back in time with a camera. It's gonna be a found footage horror movie, man. I'm done. You know, I can't do it.
I said 1986, not 1886.
You know, one really good thing I wanted to bring up that they did in the movie early on, probably like the first thing, was show somebody pick cotton and get their finger
and the fingers
stuck
are
and
broke.
start bleeding, and just give you an idea like this is what it was like for them every day.
I've done that and that happened. So yes,
No,
that's worse.
Damn, you pick cotton?
He's a time traveler.
No, my mom, I told you, South Carolina, my grandparents owned a farm, and cotton was on that farm as well.
Okay, they made a slave out of you.
His grandparents were white, by the way.
Tried it. I was like, well, that hurt, and I'm bleeding. No more of this. This sucks.
They tried, like, oh,
Gamefly brings to your house, to you, over 8,000 new releases and classics that are available to rent, or you can buy them for almost every system out there, current and some old systems. Like I said, man, I've been trying to put my GameCube back to work for years. Gamefly has given me an excuse to do that. And you can even try 30 days for free by typing in gameflyoffer.com/double toasted. And when you do that, you'll get 30 days for free of games and movies. Get all those things, all of them at once. Just stay in the house. Don't go nowhere because they're all going to get brought right to your mailbox. You can also bring the element of surprise every month to your home in the form of a Loot Crate mystery box. In that box, I can't tell you what it is, but I can guarantee you it is the best in geek and gaming gear. Some people say it's like having Comic-Con brought right to your home. You don't have to leave the house for nothing. You're getting all kind of stuff. And everybody likes a little surprise every month, just a little bit. And here's another surprise for you. You know, if you go to our link, trylootcrate.com/double toasted, and you type in bridge 10, that's the word bridge and the number 10, you can get 10% off, a 10% discount on your first crate. How's that for a surprise right there? Loot Crate, bring the mystery and the surprise to your mailbox once a month with Loot Crate. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and go over to our home, doubletoasted.com, for more videos and live streams. And remember, stay toasty.